Hello everybody, I'm Amie San, and as an animal communicator, I also work with people who lost their pets and who want to have them back in their life as a new pet, which can be again the same species as it was before, so a dog can come back as a dog, but it's also possible that it comes back as a horse or as a cat. And this little girl here is Jai, and I will tell you her story because she is an example of how an animal can come back. In this video you will learn how all this works. So if you watch this video, I'm pretty sure you are already aware of that animals do have a soul as we have, and they have feelings and they reincarnate. And that means before they come in alive, they decide together with their spiritual guides what they want to do in this life, what they want to learn on a soul level, and also which owners they have, which energy the owner will have. And there are also animals that have been with you over lifetimes. They came again and again, and they might now be with you again, or maybe you just lost one. There is another video I did for you which is about what to do when your animal dies. So it might be helpful for you to watch that too, depending in which situation you are. The dearer an animal is to you, the closer you are on a soul level. And if you have ever lost an animal, you know how hard it is, how sad it is, and how big the loss and the gap is that they leave behind. So there are two ways animal can come back and reincarnate. The first one is they just get reborn and they come back into your life as a new baby. The tricky thing with that is that you have to find it at the right time. And many people are worried, oh my God, how will I manage that? And when the pandemic started, it got really hard, especially to find little puppies from little dogs, small dogs. So to get Jai was really a hunt. And the other way an animal can come back is like a walk-in. That means there is an animal that has been already born, and this animal, this is a bit advanced, but I'm pretty sure you get the idea. So, and if this animal agrees to share its body with another soul, your pet that has left, or the soul, can come back and can share this body with the other animal. And that works very well. And now comes little Jai here into play because she is such a walk-in. When my little dog Pepita passed away at the beginning of 2020, I was really devastated. And so was my other dog, Shana, because Pepita was like Shana's mama. She had been with her since she came in our life. And Shana was at this time only 10 weeks old, and Pepita adopted her. So Shana had never been alone and never been without Pepita, not an hour, not a minute. So for her it was really hard as well. And Pepita was only 14 and a half, but she couldn't breathe anymore, so we had to let her go. And before she left, we agreed that she would come back as my dog. Now we had that tricky times, and I hopped on the internet straight away after she had passed and thought, oh my God, how will I find her? And first I thought, okay, I'll wait until there is a newborn, and so I'll let her just be reborn. And then when I had a look on the internet and what was happening and how difficult that was to get a dog, I decided this is not a safe way to do. You can do this when you know the breeder or the person who breeds them. might just be a friend or someone you know as well. And if you agree with that person that you are the first one to have the pick at the litter, because then you can talk to your animal soul and say, here is the litter, and there you come, and then you know which one it is, you will feel it. Or if you're not sure about it, you get the help with an experienced animal communicator, and they can tell you which one it is. So, as I said, this is only something where you really can be sure this is the litter and I can pick the dog, because otherwise your dog might be gone and be with somebody else. And this would be really a disaster, wouldn't it? Oh my God, I don't even want to think about that. So anyway, I decided at these times it's not safe, because you looked on the internet, there were puppies, and within an hour they were all gone. So I said, no, I'm not doing that. I will look for one that's already born, and I will ask the little soul if it is okay and happy to share its body with my dog's soul, and then they can come together. One day after Pepita had passed, this was the first day I was on the internet because I had to do something, I missed her so much. I found a little doggy and I talked to it, and it said, yeah, I would be happy to do this. So I made an appointment and drove up there and had a look at it, and it was really such a tragic situation in a way, because when I arrived I could already see that this wasn't a good breeder. I mean, they advertised when everything was lovely and nice, but I could see where they had the dogs. And I mean, I'm in Australia, it's hot, and they had them in little kennels around the house. And I said, I'm not going to support this. You might say, but you could save this poor one. I have a different opinion. I say, if you support this, this will never stop. So the other thing I say is never ever buy a dog in a pet shop or something like that where they sit in the window. This has to stop. There is a big industry behind that, and it's just cruel. You know, they hold these dogs, the mothers, in little cages, make them pregnant and take the puppies away, and these dogs go never for a walk. They see nothing. They are like a breeding machine. And besides that, this is animal cruelty and very, very horrible. These dogs are never healthy. That's the other thing. They are really already broken with their souls and with their bodies. So please stay away from that. Nevertheless, I thought, okay, because I'm there, I will at least go inside and say hello, because it's not nice to make an appointment and then just disappear. So I went in the house, and there was this little cutie doggy, and she walked straight up to me, and this man picked her up and put her in my arm. And I was carrying her around and talking to her, but I could feel also she agreed to that, and she was a lovely little girl, that she wasn't the right one. She wasn't very smart. Sorry, I have to say that. You know that some animals are very intelligent and others are not. So she was not, and I could just feel the vibration wasn't right. Also, she really would have loved to come with us. So I said to this man, I'm not sure if this is the right dog. I will walk away and let you know. I have to think about it. He was really upset because he wanted to sell that dog. It was their business. And I said, no, sorry, I'm not doing it now. So I walked away, and then I thought about it again, and then I sent him a message and said, no, sorry, I can't take this dog. So end of that story. And then I said, okay, now we have to look for another one. And I had the idea, I wanted a spoodle, a little dog, and I wanted a red one. So I started to look around, and it was so hard to find the red ones, and especially with a special look. And because Pepita said, okay, I mean, if you find a dog where I can walk in, she was fine with whatever I picked. And I was looking around and nothing happened, and it was a whole month and nothing happened. I said, oh my God. And I was talking to another breeder and said, yeah, do you have some? And she said, no, I just sold them. She was lovely. So if you talk to a breeder, really make sure they have the dogs in the house like family members, and they bring them up properly. If they say, oh, we have them in the garden or the garage or whatever, you don't even think about taking this dog, because then again you support animal cruelty. Animals need and deserve to be treated with respect from the first moment they are born. So please support that by picking the right breeder and person. It could also be an older dog, by the way. It doesn't have to be a young one. Sometimes there are people, they have to give their dogs away because they can't have them anymore. And this could be an opportunity as well. So think about that too, if you're open to have an older one. Now comes the important part. Before you take this dog, if you find the right dog, you always have to talk to the dog or cat or horse, whatever it is. So let's say the animal. So before you go and get that animal, you have to talk with it or have an animal communicator talking with it to ask, is it okay to share your body with another soul? It can also happen with humans. It's a different story, but if you look that up, walk in, you will find things on the internet that explain how that works. I might make a video about that as well, but at the moment we talk about the animals. So back to the internet. One day I was again, and then there were two very cute black puppies, spoodles, and not too far away. So I said, okay, I write to this breeder and I ask her, and if I can get the girl, was a girl and a boy, that will be it, because I could feel the vibration was right. So this breeder answered within an hour, and she said, yes, it's still available and you can have it, but before I give this dog to you, I want to ask you a few questions. And she asked me everything, how I live, how I treat animals, what I feed them, if I had some before, how many I have, and so on and so on. And I really liked it because we were covering everything I would have asked her as well in a way. Maybe a bit different, but we realized pretty soon that we were on the same page when it comes to animals, and she was very, very happy that I found her, and I was very, very happy that I found her. And this was Jai, this little girl here. And then the wait began, because she was, as I said, only 10 days old. And the breeder sent me a new photo every week, and I couldn't wait. I got so excited. I knew they would only melt when Jai would arrive, so I had to wait. And then the big day came and I picked her up, which was very, very tricky. In Australia, we had the borders closed. So I live in Byron Bay and the dog was in Queensland, and Byron Bay is New South Wales, so I had to get over the border. I knew someone who was living there and she was allowed to cross the border, and then she took me with her car. And then the breeder came to the other side of the border and she gave me this dog, and she was that little. She was fitting in my two hands, and oh my God, I was melting, you know. So we went back to my car, and then she was sitting on my lap all the time when I was driving home, and she was just sleeping. She felt safe with me straight away because I had already been in contact with her all the time energetically. And Pepita, the other dog who wanted to come in as a soul, had been with her too all the time. So she was a family member from the first moment on. The only one who had to get used to it was my Irish Wolfhound Shana, because the first day she said, no, this little thing is not getting close to me. She was really growling at her. I couldn't leave them alone. But after 2 weeks, it completely changed, because this little Jai here, she's super, super loving. She just didn't give up. She always asked Shana again and again, and very soon they became really good friends. And now Shana is protecting this little one on the beach, so she goes in between if there's a dog that's too big and wants to play with her or is unfriendly. So that has really worked out very well. And when Jai came, so I gave her first some days to settle and to arrive and really to feel at home. And then I did the ceremony where I was merging the both souls into one, so to speak, or at least into one body. And then Pepita was in a way reborn as well, and I could really feel that. And I realized something very interesting. If you look at this photo of Pepita, you can see she has that black spot at the bum. And if you look at Jai, you might not be able to see that, but Jai has right in this area here, where her bum is, white hair. Just, they are thicker, they are a bit like, they look a bit like Pepita's hair. They are thicker, they are more wiry. So this is really like, they were saying, hey, it worked. So, it's a special thing to have these walk-ins, but I think it's the safest way to get your doggy back. And if you need help for that, I'm really, really happy to support you. All I need is that you send me photos, and then we can do a session and work it all out, and I can go with you through the whole process if you want to. Because it's really, really wonderful to have your doggy back. I wish you the very best, and I hope if you are like me and want your dog back and your dog says, yes, I'm happy to do another round with you as your dog or as your animal, that you will find